Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Mohit Kara. I'm a urologist and professor of urology at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas. My clinical practice focuses on men's health, testosterone replacement therapy, and sexual wellness. Over the years, I've had the privilege of helping thousands of men improve their quality of life as they age, and one of the most important topics I discuss with my patients is testosterone and stamina as men cross the age of 50, and particularly as they move into their 60s and 70s. Many begin to notice a gradual decline in energy, strength, and stamina. This is not simply a matter of aging. It is often linked to changes in hormone balance, especially testosterone. Testosterone is the primary male hormone that supports muscle mass, bone density, libido, and vitality. When its levels drop, men may feel weaker, less motivated, and less resilient. The truth is, diet plays a much bigger role in testosterone balance than most people realize, and one of the most overlooked areas of nutrition in this regard is the role of nuts. While nuts are widely seen as healthy foods, the reality is that not all nuts are beneficial for testosterone production. In fact, some nuts can suppress it, while others can enhance it significantly. For elderly men seeking to maintain stamina and vitality, understanding this distinction can make a real difference in daily life. The human body produces testosterone from cholesterol through a series of biochemical reactions that rely on enzymes, minerals, and healthy fats. Certain types of fats and micronutrients help this process, while others interfere with it. For example, nuts that are high in omega-6 fatty acids can contribute to inflammation, which disrupts testosterone production in the testes. Others that are rich in phytosterols can compete with cholesterol, reducing the raw material needed to produce hormones. At the same time, some nuts are abundant in zinc, selenium, and monounsaturated fats, all of which are proven to support healthy testosterone levels. This balance matters even more in men over 70. At this age, natural testosterone production is already significantly lower than in younger decades. The body is more sensitive to nutritional deficiencies, and stamina depends heavily on maintaining muscle mass and preventing metabolic decline. A poor choice in diet, even with foods considered healthy, can worsen hormonal decline. For instance, relying too much on walnuts or almonds may lower free testosterone. While choosing Brazil nuts or macadamia nuts can have the opposite effect and actually improve energy, libido, and overall vitality. It is also important to recognize that testosterone does not just influence sexual function. It is central to quality of life in elderly men. Higher levels of testosterone are linked to better physical performance, sharper memory, improved mood, and stronger bones. For a man in his 70s, this could mean the difference between maintaining independence or becoming frail and fatigued. Therefore, even small nutritional changes, like including selenium-rich Brazil nuts or zinc-packed cashews in the daily diet, can provide noticeable improvements. When we connect these dietary choices to stamina, the benefits become clear. A well-supported testosterone system enables better blood flow, stronger muscles, and more efficient recovery after physical activity. Men who support their hormone health through the right nutrition often report feeling younger, more energetic, and more confident in their daily lives. And while no single food can replace medical treatment when needed, using diet as a supportive tool can slow down decline and help men enjoy life with vigor well into their later years. When men reach their 70s, one of the most overlooked yet significant threats to stamina and testosterone health comes from chronic inflammation. Inflammation is the body's natural defense mechanism against injury or infection, but when it becomes long-term and low-grade, it starts to silently damage tissues and interfere with hormone production. Many foods that we consider nutritious can actually fuel this inflammatory process if consumed without balance, and one of the main culprits is an excessive intake of nuts that are high in omega-6 fatty acids. While these nuts do provide energy and some important nutrients, their disproportionate fatty acid profile can disrupt the delicate hormonal balance needed for testosterone production. For men in their later years, where hormone levels are already on the decline, this dietary mistake can have noticeable consequences on stamina, strength, and vitality. Peanuts are a prime example. Though widely consumed and marketed as a convenient snack, peanuts are technically legumes rather than true nuts. They are heavily loaded with omega-6 fatty acids and can tip the omega balance toward inflammation. The tests where testosterone is produced are particularly sensitive to inflammatory signals. When chronic inflammation sets in, the enzymes and cellular pathways that convert cholesterol into testosterone are suppressed, leading to lower levels of free testosterone circulating in the body. This means less energy, reduced muscle retention, and a decline in sexual vitality, concerns that are already heightened in elderly men. Walnuts, too, while beneficial for the heart and brain in certain aspects, carry a heavy load of polyunsaturated fats. Excessive consumption of these fats has been linked in some research to suppressed testosterone production. For a younger man, the body may have more resilience against this effect, but for someone in his 70s, where every hormonal molecule counts, this can further weaken stamina and vitality. Walnuts in moderation may still provide antioxidant benefits, but when consumed regularly in high amounts, they can be counterproductive to hormone balance. Almonds, often seen as the ultimate health nut, also present a hidden drawback. Their high phytosterol content competes with cholesterol, reducing the availability of this essential building block for testosterone synthesis. Since cholesterol is the raw material from which testosterone is made, too many almonds can inadvertently slow down the very process elderly men need to preserve strength and sexual performance. Again, this does not mean that almonds are inherently bad. They are rich in vitamin E and other nutrients. But the context of hormone health must be considered, especially as age advances. Even pistachios, which are celebrated for their cardiovascular benefits, may not always be friendly to testosterone. Some evidence suggests that pistachios can increase levels of sex hormone, binding globulin, HBG. HBG ties up free testosterone in the bloodstream, making it unavailable for the body to use. For a man over 70, who already has lower total testosterone, a rise in HBG further reduces the bioavailable fraction of this critical hormone, directly affecting stamina, mood, and muscle function. This cumulative impact of certain nuts can make a real difference in how an elderly man feels day to day. Fatigue, loss of endurance, difficulty in maintaining muscle tone, and diminished libido are not simply consequences of age. They are amplified by dietary choices. By understanding which nuts may hinder testosterone, men can avoid unintentionally accelerating the natural decline that already comes with aging. A small shift in food selection, therefore, has the power to protect vitality, preserve hormonal balance, and extend the feeling of youthful energy well into the later years of life. For men in their 70s, the foods that lower testosterone are only one side of the story. The more encouraging side is that certain nuts can actually help preserve and even enhance testosterone levels. These nuts are nutrient-dense powerhouses that provide the essential minerals, healthy fats, and antioxidants required for proper hormone synthesis. By making the right choices, elderly men can improve stamina, maintain muscle mass, and sustain a more active lifestyle well into their later years. The difference lies in choosing nuts that support the production of testosterone instead of interfering with it. One of the most remarkable examples is the Brazil nut. Just a single Brazil nut contains a rich concentration of selenium, a mineral that plays a pivotal role in testosterone production and sperm health. Selenium helps protect the Leydig cells in the testes, the very cells responsible for producing testosterone, from oxidative stress. As men age, oxidative damage increases, and having a steady source of selenium can counteract this decline. Studies have shown that selenium deficiency is directly linked to reduced testosterone, fatigue, and poor reproductive health. For men over 70, even 1 or 2 Brazil nuts daily can provide enough selenium to make a measurable difference in stamina, energy, and overall vitality. Another highly supportive nut is the macadamia. Unlike many other nuts that are heavy in omega-6 fats, macadamia nuts are rich in monounsaturated fats. These are the same heart-healthy fats found in olive oil, and they are also some of the best fats for testosterone synthesis. Since testosterone is derived from cholesterol, diets rich in monounsaturated fats provide the ideal environment for hormone production. Macadamias are also low in inflammatory compounds, making them a perfect snack for elderly men who want to avoid the negative effects of chronic inflammation. By incorporating macadamia nuts regularly, men can support their hormonal balance while also benefiting cardiovascular health, which is crucial for stamina and endurance. Hazelnuts also play a supportive role. They are loaded with vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects hormone-producing cells from oxidative stress. Vitamin E is particularly important because it not only safeguards testosterone-producing cells, but also helps improve blood flow and cardiovascular function. This combination supports both stamina and sexual health, two areas where many elderly men notice decline. By including hazelnuts in the diet, men can improve hormone health while also enjoying better circulation, sharper cognition, and a reduced risk of age-related vascular problems. Finally, cashews provide a crucial mineral often overlooked: zinc. Zinc is one of the most important nutrients for testosterone production, and deficiency is strongly linked to hypogonadism and low energy levels. Zinc also plays a role in immune health, wound healing, and overall vitality. For men over 70, zinc becomes even more essential because the body's ability to absorb and utilize nutrients declines with age. By consuming cashews regularly, men can help replenish zinc levels, supporting both hormone balance and physical stamina. Choosing nuts like Brazil nuts, macadamias, hazelnuts, and cashews provides a natural, accessible way to maintain testosterone levels without relying solely on supplements or medications. For elderly men seeking to feel younger and stronger, these foods can serve as daily allies in the fight against hormonal decline. Small, consistent dietary adjustments can yield long-lasting improvements in stamina, confidence, and overall well-being. When men enter their 70s, stamina and strength are no longer just about maintaining a youthful appearance. They become directly tied to independence, mobility, and overall quality of life. Testosterone plays a central role in this equation, but it does not function in isolation. The body is a network of interconnected systems, and nutrition is the foundation that supports these systems. The right choices in diet, particularly with nutrient-rich nuts that encourage testosterone production, can have a profound impact on how a man feels physically and mentally. Beyond hormone health, these foods also influence blood circulation, muscle repair, and energy metabolism, all of which are critical for stamina. Take the example of Brazil nuts. The selenium they provide doesn't just influence testosterone, it also acts as a potent antioxidant. For an elderly man, oxidative stress contributes to fatigue, joint pain, and a higher risk of chronic illness. By reducing oxidative damage, selenium allows the body to function more efficiently, helping men maintain energy throughout the day. When energy is stable, stamina is naturally preserved. This means less midday fatigue, greater ability to engage in physical activity, and a more active lifestyle overall. Macadamia nuts, with their abundance of monounsaturated fats, offer another unique advantage. These fats not only promote testosterone production, but also support heart health by lowering bad cholesterol and improving arterial function. At age 70, cardiovascular efficiency is directly tied to stamina because the heart and circulatory system determine how much oxygen and nutrients reach the muscles. By eating macadamias, men are essentially fueling two important aspects of vitality at once: hormone health and cardiovascular endurance. This combination helps them perform better during exercise, recover faster, and maintain stamina for everyday tasks. Hazelnuts bring a different kind of support through vitamin E, which protects cell membranes from oxidative damage and improves circulation. For elderly men, circulation is often a limiting factor in stamina. Poor blood flow can lead to fatigue, slower recovery, and difficulties with physical and sexual performance. By enhancing vascular health, hazelnuts help ensure that muscles and organs receive an adequate supply of oxygen and nutrients, which directly translates to sustained energy and resilience. Cashews, with their high zinc content, provide another vital piece of the stamina puzzle. Zinc supports testosterone production, but it also plays a role in muscle repair and immune function. At an advanced age, recovery from physical activity becomes slower, and the immune system is less efficient. Zinc helps counteract both of these challenges. Men who maintain adequate zinc intake are better able to recover from workouts or even routine daily activities, reducing fatigue and maintaining higher stamina levels. When all these factors are combined, the result is a body that functions more efficiently, with better hormone balance, stronger circulation, and improved recovery. For men over 70, this can mean the difference between living passively and living actively. It is not just about increasing testosterone, it is about using the right foods to support the entire system that keeps stamina alive. With consistent choices, even something as simple as a handful of the right nuts each day can empower men to feel stronger, more energetic, and more capable of enjoying life's activities well into their later years. For men in their 70s, stamina is not just measured by physical energy, but also by mental sharpness, emotional stability, and overall resilience. Testosterone is central to this broader picture of vitality, yet what often goes unrecognized is how lifestyle choices, especially diet, interact with hormone health to shape daily experiences. The difference between feeling sluggish and dependent or energetic and independent often comes down to whether the body is getting the nutrients it needs to sustain hormone balance and cellular function. This is why paying close attention to food, even something as small as the type of nuts consumed, can become a powerful strategy for preserving strength and stamina. The decline in stamina after 70 is not simply a matter of aging. It is accelerated by factors such as poor nutrient absorption, chronic inflammation, and oxidative stress. The body becomes less efficient at repairing damage and producing energy, making it more vulnerable to fatigue. Testosterone, which influences red blood cell production, muscle growth, and energy metabolism, provides a protective buffer. When levels drop too low, stamina suffers across all areas. Walking becomes more tiring, memory less reliable, mood less stable, and recovery from exercise much slower. This is where nutrient-rich foods that directly support testosterone, like Brazil nuts for selenium or cashews for zinc, can make a dramatic difference. They do not act as magic pills, but as steady allies that allow the body to function closer to its optimal state. The psychological dimension of stamina is also deeply tied to hormonal health. Low testosterone is often associated with reduced confidence, lack of motivation, and even depressive symptoms. For men over 70, who may already be facing emotional challenges from retirement, reduced activity, or health concerns, this can be especially difficult. Foods that boost testosterone can indirectly lift mood and motivation, making it easier to stay active, social, and engaged. Something as simple as regularly choosing nuts that enhance hormone balance can therefore have ripple effects on mental stamina and overall outlook on life. Another factor to consider is bone and joint health. Testosterone helps preserve bone density, which becomes increasingly important as men age and face higher risks of fractures and osteoporosis. Nuts rich in essential minerals not only support hormones, but also contribute to stronger bones and joints. This allows elderly men to maintain mobility and independence, which are crucial for stamina in everyday living. Being able to move without pain or limitation reinforces confidence and encourages more physical activity, which in turn further supports testosterone levels in a positive cycle. What this shows is that stamina after 70 cannot be maintained by exercise or medication alone. It requires an integrated approach where food plays a central role. Every nutrient that enters the body either builds or breaks down hormonal strength. By consistently choosing foods like macadamias, hazelnuts, cashews, and Brazil nuts, men can protect their testosterone levels while also supporting cardiovascular, muscular, and cognitive health. Over time, these small daily habits accumulate into noticeable differences in stamina, making it possible to live not only longer but also stronger. For men over 70, the pursuit of stamina and vitality often comes down to small, consistent habits that accumulate over time. Testosterone, while central to strength and energy, is only one piece of the puzzle. The body's ability to maintain stamina depends on a balanced interaction between hormones, nutrition, physical activity, and rest. At this stage of life, every decision around food, exercise, and recovery has an amplified effect, because the body is more sensitive to deficiencies and imbalances. This is why focusing on the right kinds of nuts and other supportive foods is not just a dietary choice, but a strategy for preserving independence, energy, and quality of life. The right foods provide the building blocks for hormone production, protect cells from oxidative damage, and keep inflammation under control. When testosterone levels are supported by nutrients like zinc, selenium, and monounsaturated fats, stamina is not only maintained but also enhanced. This can translate into more energy for walking, exercising, or even engaging in hobbies and social activities. Many elderly men report that when their nutrition supports their hormones, they feel more motivated to move, more confident in their strength, and more positive in their outlook. In contrast, diets that suppress testosterone often result in fatigue, reduced endurance, and a sense of decline that feels inevitable, but is, in reality, influenced by daily choices. Another critical aspect of stamina at this age is recovery. For younger men, the body quickly bounces back from physical exertion, but after 70, recovery time lengthens due to reduced testosterone and slower metabolic function. This is where the supportive properties of certain nuts make a difference. Selenium, zinc, and vitamin E all assist in cellular repair, immune function, and reducing oxidative stress, which shortens recovery times and allows men to remain active without feeling drained. By eating nutrient-dense foods that target these systems, the body becomes more resilient to the wear and tear of everyday life. Cardiovascular health is equally important. Strong stamina requires efficient blood flow, oxygen delivery, and heart function. Testosterone naturally supports red blood cell production, but when levels fall too low, fatigue and weakness set in quickly. Nuts like macadamias and hazelnuts, which improve circulation and provide healthy fats, give elderly men an edge by keeping the cardiovascular system functioning smoothly. This synergy between hormone health and heart health is what sustains true stamina. The kind that allows a man not just to walk across a room, but to take a long stroll, enjoy activities with family, and maintain vitality without constant fatigue. Ultimately, stamina after 70 is less about chasing youth and more about supporting the body's natural systems so they continue to perform at their best. By choosing foods that enhance testosterone and avoiding those that suppress it, men can extend their strength, endurance, and confidence well into later life. A handful of Brazil nuts for selenium, a serving of cashews for zinc, or macadamias for monounsaturated fats might seem like small decisions, but they are powerful tools for sustaining stamina. Over weeks and months, these choices add up, allowing men to live with energy, purpose, and vitality at an age when many expect decline.